of course, always from Melbourne. They'll agree on everything. So let's get to what was discussed today. We have all heard the grab and all back and forth about whether we should be taking more, less, none refugees from Palestine, from the Gaza Strip. There are 2 million people that are there. Stephen, again, I mentioned that I agreed with sort of 2/3 of what Peter Dutton had said, where you do need to have stringent things, you do need to have all of these things in place, and if that means it's not a quick extradition, then sadly that is the situation. But I'm not for the hard no. What do you think?
Look, I think, Paul, I actually agree with you. I think the coalition were putting Labor in a very difficult place with the position that they were saying and wanting security checks, following the process, making sure everybody. And I think Dave Sharma was on Shari's show and he talked about how they were criticised for taking too long over Syria, etc. So I think the coalition were in a good place, but it seems like just this last little bit is a little bit of overreach. And I think it's been described by some in the coalition players behind the scenes as it was a captain's pick. He went off piste a little bit. And I think it is just a genuine slight overreach. I think they had Labor well placed. You just got to point to what happened with the decision around Direction 99 when it came to the refugees after the High Court decision. And, one or two of them began to reoffend. And Andrew Giles was and the government were under enormous pressure. And I think Tony Burke's placing himself in a situation where he needs to make sure not one of these people express a view or behaves in a way that could be seen to be pro-Hamas, a terrorist organisation.
You were starting to make sense until you brought Giles into it. Then you ruined your argument. Peter Dutton today said it was not prudent.
I don't think, as usual, I don't think you listened to Bronwyn.
Oh, yes, I did, and I didn't like what I heard.
So do you think that Dutton landed in the right place today, Bronwyn?
I think when he said it was not prudent to bring people...
there's two versions of this comment today.
Striking the right note.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because the words of Mike Burgess worried me. I really was worried.
That was ludicrous what he said.
It made no sense to me.
Which again was basically you could support, but you can still come in. No, no support, then you can come in.
But I mean, ASIO has to be above the fray, and his words alarmed me, and I'm sure that that's part of why there was that reaction from Peter Dutton, and rightfully so, I think.
Yeah.
The comeback from the government, we just take ASIO's advice, didn't ring true simply because of that difficulty.
Well, and as Shari pointed out before, the usual process takes clearly longer than an hour, multiple weeks, multiple months.
But there was more to it than that. Mike Burgess said, we did check some. But the applications didn't get in time, so we couldn't do them. I'm sorry, that's not good enough.
No, 100%.
So I think Peter was quite right in drawing attention to that. And if anyone is to come in, they must be thoroughly scrutinised, absolutely thoroughly.